Welcome to another episode of Pitstop Fracas. I am your host, Mahad, and today we'll be doing our annual fraud watch list. Usually, we do this behind closed doors, like if the panel convene, we make our decisions, we debate. But today we thought, okay, summer break, let's actually record this conversation that we usually have and update our fraud watch list for the people. Before we get started, before I introduce the panel members, subscribe, YouTube, Pitstop Fracas. You're already watching the video, might as well press subscribe. Press like, comment. If you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, please give us a review. Give us that 5-star. We're providing you that content over these dry month over the summer break. And if you're looking for some merch, you can see on your YouTube description, there is a link for fanatics.com where you can get all your F1 merch. I heard a certain driver at McLaren's merch is going off for 50% at the moment. So if you are a fan, click that link and you can cop. He has got stylish clothes, stylish merch. So yeah, cop that. Use our link. It's in the description in the iTunes and Spotify as well. So make sure you get your merch for cheap and follow our link. And I'll introduce my first panel member today. Martz, you've been waiting for this one, haven't you?
I've been waiting for this one, man.
How you doing?
I'm not too bad. Had to come save the podcast after last week's absolute debacle. There was too much Alonso love on that podcast. That was horrible. My ears were bleeding, man. So I've come back to save the podcast and do what's right.
I'd like to just question that point. I was one man up. Kunle don't like Alonso. Rick don't like Alonso. Kunle, you're offended. Our other panel member, Kunle, how you doing?
I'm kind of offended, right? Because I didn't give Alonso prop. I didn't give him prop that he didn't need to be.
It sounded like prop to me, man. Anything nice about it? He said he deserves a seat in the sport. I said,
I didn't say that.
19.
I didn't say that. I said he's 40 and he's got a seat. He shouldn't have a seat. I'm questioning the rest of the grid. Literally, everyone.
I'll let you off.
Everyone in F1 should be on fraud watch, seeing Alonso has a seat. What are we doing?
Well, he's got a seat for 3 more years, guys. He ain't leaving. Okay, so.
Talk about fraud list. Yeah, we need to put that Aston Martin recruiting team on it.
They're on shaky ground. Also, the Alpine contract negotiators as well.
Yeah.
Was it Laurent Rossi?
We're gonna get to that
because he's having a howler. Firstly, for those that listen only and don't follow us on Twitter or don't have a Twitter or don't have an Instagram either, you may not know what a fraud watch list is. So we compile this list. I think 2 or 3 times a year we update it. We come together as a group cast and we decide, okay, who's going to be on the fraud list and who's going to be on the fraud watch list. There are differences to these lists. So for a fraud list, that is a confirmed fraud. They need to improve their performances drastically to be moved back to the watch list. And the watch list is people that are currently under investigation. And if their performances don't improve, they will go onto the fraud list. And we had the retirement fraud watch list as well. And we had Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso Diaz on there. Martz, can we say, ladies and gentlemen, we got him for one of those members?
You got him.
We got him.
Listen, you got him, man.
We got him. Sebastian Vettel.
As I said, 6 enemies on F1. 1 down, 5 to go. We moved.
Got him. So yeah, we put him on the retirement fraud watch, and there he is. He's announced his retirement. Unless you've been living under a rock, you should know that. So the last time the panel reconvened was on the 23rd of May, 2022. So keep that in mind if you're listening and watching. At that time, we had confirmed frauds on the list were Daniel Joseph Ricciardo, we had Nicholas Daniel Latifi, and we had Carlos Sainz Vasquez de Castro as confirmed frauds. Okay? And the teams that were confirmed frauds, because we kind of separated out between drivers and teams, was Scuderia Ferrari Strategic Department, the Mercedes AMG Petronas Strategic Department, and the Alfa Romeo Pit Crew. Firstly, we're going to talk about the drivers first. Since May, 23rd of May, so I think that's around Monaco times, Daniel Ricciardo, has he done anything at all to remove himself from that fraud watch list?
Bro, man's got a 99-year lease on that list, bro. He's not going nowhere.
Since then, he's been acrimoniously fired from his team.
Hey, that's disgraceful, bro.
He didn't improve. We gave him time.
I see. For me, I've been a Daniel Ricciardo hater for a while. Like, ever since he first came into the Red Bull team, never really liked the guy. I thought he was a bit of too happy for me. He ain't got a puppy in him, let alone a dog. Like,
Martz, you don't like joy, no? You don't like joy. You don't like people enjoy.
I like joy. I enjoy. Yeah, I enjoy when Lewis Hamilton wins. You know what I mean? When he's got his 8th world title, that's when we could all smile again. But right now, there's nothing to smile about, and I'm definitely not smiling at Daniel Ricciardo, bro. The guy he ain't got that work ethic in him. I mean, like, he comes out with things saying, "Oh, I don't really like the engineering side of things. I just like to get in the car and drive." Brother, how do you expect to improve if you don't want to learn about your car? These are things. It was always going to go bad. Always going to go bad at McLaren. As he said last year, he won a race and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Daniel Ricciardo's back. He was still slower than his teammate in the race. Your teammate, the only reason why your teammate wasn't given team orders was because they didn't really want to upset the apple tree right there. They just want to let things be how it is. But I tell you, had Lewis overtaken Lando, yeah, you would have heard about it, and then McLaren would have said, "Oh, it was a mistake, and we should have let Lando through." He's just not that guy, and he's never been that guy. He's always run from a challenge. He ran from Max Verstappen. I mean, yeah, he came up when he was a fresh newbie and went face to face with a bored Vettel who really just wanted to get out of the Red Bull team. But he's never really like taken a challenge to himself and just said, "Yeah, I want to do this. I want to help build this team." The guy should have never moved to a McLaren in the first place, and he just stayed at Renault and helped try build that team up. And he just ran away from another challenge because he felt that they weren't improving to his liking, instead of him to stay there and help them improve.
Yeah, you kind of echoing a lot of the thoughts that we had on our last pod, and me and Kunle, we went to great lengths to talk about Daniel Ricciardo's failures. Kunle, I don't know if you want to touch on that again. Like, he's not coming off this fraud watch list anytime soon, is he?
Nah, not on my list. No, he needs to, firstly, get out of my team. Secondly,
get out of my pub.
He needs to get that. He needs to get out.
And you need to leave.
And it hurts, man. Because it hurts a lot that I'm saying here about Daniel Ricciardo. Like even in the whole Renault situation, I was like, you know what? I'm backing him because, like, if Renault are not looking to be serious with their life and he wants to, like, win, then yeah, go to a team that wants to win. But come on, you saw the head-to-head. It's what's it in points? It's like, it's crazy.
F1 account is moving mad for them even posting that, because I'm at working meetings and I see that and my head is fried.
Wait, let me find that head-to-head again, because I think someone posted. I don't know. I think you reposted it, right?
I reposted it and said embarrassing.
It's like 11-2, isn't it? Something like that.
11-2. No. I'm gonna read out the stats. Where is it? Let me look at your media. It's crazy. It's like, it can't go on forever, man. That's not how to live.
Listen,
that's only halfway through the season as well, you know. It's not like a full season stats.
All right,
Lando's laughing at him.
Okay.
The guy's been in the sport for what, almost 10 years now? In about 10 years now, and you've got a guy that's been there for 4 years.
He's a veteran. He's a veteran in the sport. So now I'm gonna read it out. Big man. Races 9-4 in favor of Lando Norris. Qualifying 11-2 in favor of Lando Norris. Points 76-19. I'll read it. I'll read that again. 76-19.
That stinks, bro.
That ratio is
in favor of Lando Norris. Podiums.
That's them ratios Anik gets, bro.
Podiums 1-0. Best race finish 3rd and 6th. I mean, we don't have to figure out who got 3rd, but yeah, Lando Norris. Highest grid position, 1 lap pace. You know, you stick a lap together, Q3, when it matters. Highest grid position, Lando Norris, 4th. Highest grid position, Daniel Ricciardo, 6th. Maybe all of this is because he's had a bad car, you know. F1, like, yeah, let's check the DNFs 1-1. You can't even out DNF your teammate. Like,
that's wild.
You cannot out DNF your teammate. Like, and you're there, like, and you're meant to be number 1 driver. Like, so, like, the only excuse he could have had for being this bad against his teammate in his 2nd year and the car built around him is that reliability, and he's had a bad car. I mean, the McLaren is not the best car. It's not. It's not a good car. It's not a good car. It's a bad car for both drivers, but like, you know, surprise, surprise, the younger driver with less experience is, you know, it's not even like, it's a different thing if it's like, you know, like the Mercedes setup where it's like bad luck, bad pit stops, bad strategy calls, blah, blah, blah. This is comfy. This season, Lando Norris has had a flu game. He's had bad back. He's had a race where he could barely walk or speak. And he's had a race where his water bottle was probably not working the whole race.
His water bottle was not working, and he had like peak COVID whilst driving.
Yeah,
and still finished ahead of.
And he still finished ahead of Danny Rick. I don't know if right now, if we're giving titles in fraud list, Danny Rick's president.
Danny Rick's at the position right now where he is no longer on the fraud watch list. No. He's not on the fraud list. He's actually person at the door checking people in.
Yeah, it's basically checking.
He's got the list. He's a member of the panel because fraud recognized fraud.
Member of a panel is too much. Is giving him too much respect. It's the bouncer. Nah, you don't belong here. Go to the watch list. Oh yeah, come here. Your name's on the list. Come in. That's his job now. It's not even a panel.
Hopefully, he turns it around once he leaves my team. Like Kunle.
Hopefully, it doesn't turn it around at this point because you can go rest in peace.
He won't turn it around, man. He won't turn it
around. And you know who else needs to be on the watch list or the fraud list? Is fucking fans that keep egging him on, that makes him think he's doing the right thing.
Oh no, that's a given. When we speak right now, it's not personal to Daniel Ricciardo. It's not. It's more his driving ability and his fans. That's what.
Yeah, it's McLaren are doing him dirty.
Oh no, sorry, mine is personal. Right. I don't like the guy. I don't like the
guy. I do not agree.
It's not personal for me, but you know, I respect him, Martz. It's what it is.
We'll move on to the next person that's on the actual fraud list at the moment. That's Nicholas Latifi. Do we need to give him more than 1 minute?
No, I think it's pretty understandable.
No, his name's Nicholas Latifi.
I don't think we give a lot of time to Nicholas Latifi on this pod. And rightfully so.
We did last year.
Oh yeah.
Williams #1 driver last year.
Yeah, he was Williams #1 driver last year.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah. I mean, he was out here scoring points, saving the team, giving them money. He did a lot.
He's not even getting red flags right this season, bro. That's how bad he's been.
It put the team on his back this last year. You know that Fugazi race at Spa Park.
Do you know what scary hours to me? They both Albon and Latifi had 1 year left on their contract. Told me when they only announced Albon and just forgot about Latifi. That's how you know he's getting sacked.
Yeah, even Williams don't care. It's just if they could fight, I promise you, if William could run one sit, I'm sure they would probably run one sit. If they were allowed to do that.
Well, you're not going to get any points on the other seat, so what's the point?
It's a waste of
Pay some money,
resources. It's waste. You're paying pit crew members to just do shit. Like it's like even if you have the fastest speed,
you're not clocking Kunle. He pays for his seat. He pays for the resources.
Fair enough.
So it all balances out. Checks. It's like when you like pay for flying lessons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, you're paying.
Run it, whatever.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's enough time we're gonna get on Latifi. We're not gonna go any further on Latifi. Latifi,
if Latifi's dad wants to sponsor us, hey, I'll take your money too, bro. Shout out to you.
If Ricardo's on the door.
Yeah, Nicholas Latifi can have a seat on Pitstop Fracas next season, bro.
Pitstop Fracas, sponsored by Safina Foods. If Ricardo's on the door on the fraud list, Daniel Ricciardo's checking in coats. So Nicholas Latifi.
Nicholas Latifi's doing the finances, boy. That's what he's doing. The finances
at top. The third person that was on the fraud list, drivers, was Carlos Sainz. And would you say from May he's improved? He's driving his situation at this moment in time. Kunle, give me your thoughts.
Well, what has happened since that time? He's got him pole. He's won a race, and he's got him podiums.
Outscoring his teammate.
You know, he's doing well. He's keeping his team in the championship challenge, and he's going against the team and succeeding. You know,
other men are crashing it at France, bro. Listen, did you not see the simulator where someone said where
the aircraft
crashed? Yeah.
We spoke about it last.
Basically, you can lift a plane.
Yeah, we spoke about it.
No, but you know what? Yeah, I was deep in it. I remember because at that day I didn't watch the race live, innit? And I came in and I ignored my phone. I didn't do anything. Yeah, where was I? I can't remember. Yeah, and no, do you know what? I was abroad, and I checked. I got in, and I thought, let me just watch this on my phone. And I was like, why is somebody crashing in France?
It's fucking France, isn't it?
Who the hell crashes in France? I remember I was getting slated last year for Yuki Tsunoda crashing in qualifying in France because how far away the runoff area is. My man's in the lead doing push laps and he bins it.
Just slow down, bro.
I couldn't believe it. And you know, I loved it because I was like, this is when I didn't watch it like highlights or anything like that. I watched the race.
You watched the rerun.
I ignored it. And it was just such a surprise. I was like, God loves me.
Carlos, I don't think he should be on that list no more. It's not. So again, it's like one of those drivers where like
he's had a shaky last two races, isn't it? What was the last two? Hungary and
but it's not worthy of being worthy of being called a fraud.
Yeah, it's not worthy of being a fraud.
No. I mean, but he still had a shaky.
I mean,
what was the last two races? The last two races was Hungary,
France and Hungary.
Hungary and France. But the last two races, it didn't like it. I mean, I think Ferrari had a
France. He got shanked.
France was the engine.
France, he got shanked.
France was the engine. The engine went off,
and the strategy as well. Why did they pit him when he was on the road?
He wasn't quick in there, was he?
Yeah, but they pitted him when he was on for. He was in a podium position.
Yeah.
True.
Wait, when did his engine go off? When it was going after Max, and his engine went off.
Oh no, that's Austria. That's the race.
But that was Austria. Oh yeah.
That race he was running well, man. To be fair, I'm not gonna lie. That race he was doing well and low key.
He could have won.
He could have won the race.
It was good. It was literally he had DRS and everything on Max, and he had a chance.
He could have overtaken, but then Charles had the problem. He would have overtook Charles. He don't care. Yeah, he's a violent man.
Had Charles had the throttle issue,
he would have overtook him.
Yeah. So and then last race was when they had a bad strategy call and their soft tires just didn't work. That was when Lewis overtook him. Like their soft tires just didn't work.
Yeah. No, last race he was awful. I'm not gonna lie.
Last race he should have dunked on Russell a long time ago.
He finished P3 though.
But I think he qualified well. He out-qualified his teammate.
He out-qualified his teammate and he finished P3.
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
Who finished P3?
no,
Oh,
P4.
he finished P4. Oh yeah, Russell got him, right?
yeah, he was just.
Wait, beat his teammate.
cruising
Beat his
along.
teammate, man.
He put his teammate though. They put
I
his
know,
teammate on
yeah,
hard.
but
Because he doesn't listen to team orders.
he
That's how
didn't.
you
He
win.
actually didn't beat his teammate. His teammate is a dumb fool that went into the pits when he shouldn't have, and should have just hold it out on the hards and finished the race because the hards would have turned on eventually.
He
Even though they
wasn't
weren't a
turning
good
on. That
tire.
shit wasn't
It
turning
would
on.
have turned on it.
Nah, he didn't turn on
It
anyone.
weren't turning on.
It wasn't turning on,
It
bro.
would have turned on.
No,
I'm telling you,
no.
you
Them
but you still
times
don't go
needed
in.
from human pills, man. They weren't turning on, man.
Them hards were not turning on. No, like pause. It wasn't turning on.
Pause. Pause.
Yeah,
They
man,
can't
I
turn
think
them
we
on.
can-
Yeah.
I think we can.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
no.
we could downgrade him.
Yeah, it could go
Sainz.
down to like watch list.
Watch this.
Watch this. So we're keeping an eye on him.
Yeah, keeping an eye on him. He's in a Ferrari, man. He should be winning races.
You know, he won a race, so he's not.
He
He
should have won
shouldn't
one
win.
race,
He shouldn't win one race. He should be winning multiple races.
Anybody that's won a race this season should be on the fraud list. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He should be winning multiple races.
No, that's what we did with Daniel Ricciardo, and we
It's
saw
a four.
exactly what
It's
happened.
a four-car flex. Like only two drivers.
Yeah,
are
no,
winning
Daniel
races.
Ricciardo had a reprieve after Monza. He had a little small
exactly.
reprieve.
I didn't
Yeah,
give him.
exactly.
I didn't give him
You-
one.
You
I tried
took him off the list. You took him off the list, and he went straight back on. Like
He
the
tried,
pros
he
every
tried
year.
it. He tried it. You had faith in that guy, bro.
Hey, listen, I support my.
I want the easiest tracks as well. You know, easiest tracks on the grid.
Listen, when people keep on asking me, "Oh, you're driving this, you're driving that," I don't have drivers. I have a McLaren in it. So if you drive for McLaren, I'm going to support you in it. And if you stink it out, I'm going to give you a try. I'm going to give you a little bit of reprieve. And then look, Daniel Ricciardo is no longer employed by McLaren. So
Let me ask you a question.
What?
When Perez was thinking it out when he joined McLaren, did you give him a reprieve?
Yes.
Swear.
Hey, listen, Perez and Magnussen, they've got a place in my heart forever. McLaren drivers.
Listen, Perez got done dirty though at the end of the day, man.
He got done dirty, and Magnussen got done dirty as well at McLaren.
I think Magnussen got done dirty. Perez, they just didn't like him.
Yeah, but he was moving mad though. Perez was moving mad, but I digress. We have somebody. Scuderia Ferrari strategic department is on the fraud list at the moment.
Put the whole team on it, bro.
Should we upgrade this?
They're still. Are they on the watch list or the fraud list?
They're on the fraud list for teams.
Yeah, they're still there.
So, and it's only the strategic department at the moment.
Yeah,
so
we're adding.
We need a whole team on there, man.
We're adding the engine.
So we're talking about Bonotto, Elkman.
Everyone.
We're putting all them man
The
on
whole
there.
shebang, bro.
Chris
Even
is gonna.
Schumacher.
I know Chris is gonna, bro.
Chris, cast member Chris, he defends
Chris is gonna be
Bonotto
crying because he's a Bonotto boy. He'll defend
He's like-
Bonotto.
He said, if for listeners, Chris's stance is, they built a great car, the drivers are fucking it up.
Yeah, and his driver
I'm
is
like,
one of them as well.
Your cars are blowing up, brother.
Yeah. You don't like.
Yeah, man.
you don't like Charles. You don't like Charles though. Bonotto don't like Charles.
All right, but Bonotto, let's shine some light on Bonotto because Bonotto, you took time out. You stepped away from the paddock and you said, I'm focusing on this engine for 2 years. You weren't even turning up to races. You didn't even know what the pit crew was doing, strategic department was doing, because you were so fixated on this engine. And the engine blows up.
Yeah.
On several occasions. Is that not a catastrophic? Isn't that fraudulent behavior?
Mattia.
Of course it is.
Come
course it
outside,
is,
Mattia. Come outside, Mattia.
So what?
Bro,
do we put Mattia on the list by himself?
No,
I'll put Mattia on.
Would you do it like
the whole team, man?
I'll put
that's
Mattia
the
on
whole
one.
team, right? Top to
No,
bottom.
no,
That's for the whole
no. This
team.
is how I'm saying it.
Because
right? This is
the
how I'm saying
politics is just messing up the whole team as well. Like the whole fact of the matter is they can't decide who they want to win the championship this year between Charles and Sainz. It just kind of just thrown everything off.
it. Why
Their
it's tricky.
full department, you're calling him mid-race. What are you gonna do during mid-race? If you're not firing him, what's the point in calling him? What's the point in calling him? To tell him you're angry? What kind of nonsense is that? Nah, it's the whole establishment, bro.
It's
The whole
hard. It's hard for me.
establishment.
It's hard for me to put the whole team. In as much as I want the organization to.
No, bro, because they run to sport and they still didn't get it right.
No. You know what? Loki, Martz. Do you think the aero department did right? The people that built the chassis? Because that's a good chassis.
It's a good chassis.
Okay. Yeah.
If we put in the whole
it's still
team,
good
then
chassis, 'cause it was still, if they got it so right, they had 2 years to get it right, and they were still porpoising. Not only one team didn't listen. One team didn't do the two teams. Their porpoising was at a really reasonable level where it wasn't affecting their car. So at the end of the day, if your car was porpoising, it means you did a bad job in the aero phase.
Okay,
just because you fix it now, it doesn't change that at the start.
So you're referring to Red Bull and Alfa Romeo, right?
Yeah,
they didn't porpoise, so therefore they passed the objective.
Red Bull had
exactly.
I remember Ross Brawn saying, "Why are you not surprised that the cars are porpoising? Are you guys all right?"
Red Bull porpoised a little bit though.
Small. No, they stopped. Do you know what? Red Bull lucky they stopped their porpoising on the last day of testing in Bahrain.
Yeah,
imagine that. They fixed it the last day.
So what I'll say about Ferrari is that the strategy team definitely in front list. The pit stop, they're
having a laugh.
They're having a mare. Definitely on front list because there's no even point putting them on a watch list. You see, Mattia and his old engine department, they're on watch list.
What? No. Why are they on watch list? They've cost Charles Leclerc like 75 points, bro.
No, I know they've cost Charles Leclerc a lot of points, but they've also given Haas and Alfa Romeo decent points.
No, but they've also had Haas blowing up, and they've also had Bottas. How much engine does Bottas have? You'll never hear this from me, but I proper feel sorry for Bottas because his engine just blows up all the time. Even last race, his engine just what's going on?
It just died out. Like
I don't know how to drive. That's why his engine keeps blowing.
No,
up.
come on, man.
He's not pushing it too hard. That's why his engine keeps on
blowing
up.
Tell him, man, lift the coast. What's your sicko, man?
Isn't that why you're on F1?
Learn how to drive a car. I'm telling you, no one else's engine is blown up so much. So why is his one? It's clearly the way he's driving.
He's the experiment. That Merck made him the experiment last year. He's the experiment, man.
They keep telling him to like do things that he shouldn't be doing with the car.
You know them man that go to them labs and they get paid $6,000 for 2 weeks and they just getting stuff injected in them. Yeah, that Bottas. Bottas is the Formula One.
Oh, test
money, you know.
They're getting their sleep money. Yeah, but no, I don't feel like I'll put them because again, if we put them on fraud list and they go on, I mean, it won't happen, but they're going to win the championship. It's like,
did you say go on to win the championship?
I said it wouldn't happen.
It's not happening.
It wouldn't happen because half of the team is on fraud list.
Okay, we're gonna put strategic department. We're gonna put pit stop crew. We're gonna put Matteo Bonotto and his engine people on the fraud watch list.
No, strategy goes on fraud list.
Fraud. All of them are going on fraud list. All three of them fraud list.
Nah, I'm pushing Binotto to watch list, man.
Martz thoughts.
It's built a race winning car, man. They've
won 4 races.
We'll put Binotto on watch list. Binotto watch list. The others, yeah, they just need to be. The whole thing just needs to be there, man. The engine, so the engine, strategy, pit crew, all three of them need to be on the fraud list by themselves. Binotto, you can be on the watch list. He might. I think they're going to give him another year to fix this, and we'll see next year if he fixes it.
Talking about fixing stuff, the next team on the fraud list is Mercedes strategic department. Do you think they've made drastic improvements?
Another 99-year lease. Another 99-year lease.
They're never making it out of the hood. Fraud list.
James Bowles on them, man. Not James Bowles. James Letters.
Fraud list, man.
Fraud list. They haven't made any improvements. Do you think their improvements recently has been linked to better strategic decisions, or do you think it's still just the cars just improving little by little?
Hamilton and Inshallah, that's where it is, bro.
Hamilton's got 5 podiums in a row right now.
Yeah, but it's not
since the last time we did the fraud list, he's had 5 podiums in a row.
But was there anything strategic about doing the podiums?
Nope. They've cost him a win in was it
Silverstone?
Silverstone, and then last race they put 4 seconds on his head top twice.
Yeah, that's twice.
That's the pit crew. That's not strategy.
Yeah, but the strategy was rubbish anyway, so I don't even care. Bro, I wasn't there,
I
man.
I think they've made small incremental steps for improvement.
You know what?
No,
For what is
you know
what,
why I was saying that? Because
they've given Judge some good strategies this year.
No, they didn't, because at Hungary he should have won. And what they did to Georgia was they were
Hungary?
trying to outrace Ferrari.
No, that's Judge's fault.
fault, man.
Huh?
That's George's fault. He didn't manage his tires, man.
Yeah, but they were trying to outrace Ferrari instead of watching what Verstappen was doing. He was coming out the pack so quickly, and they were him and Ferrari just going at each other.
What Verstappen was doing. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Nobody was.
That's the strategy
Neither
department.
Mercedes or Ferrari.
The strategy department is meant to look at that. If you see Verstappen's P7 after the first lap, do something about it. Watch him, because you know he's going to pass the Alpines quickly. He's going to be up on Lewis soon.
I personally believe, yeah, and people might think I'm crazy for this, yeah. There was no way Verstappen was losing that race.
He had the best car.
He's got the. Did you see him in Q1 and Q2? He was bodying guys. He was putting 4 attempts on people's head, on second place's head. Only because his engine switched off, he weren't on pole. He would have ran away. He would have won by 30 seconds.
Once they were able to get past like the first set of people that were getting past.
Anyway, can we still talk about Max? Can we stop, please? Listen.
But look at the pain in his eyes. Martz, man. So strategic department, do they get downgraded to watch list for the meanwhile?
No, they're still.
I don't know, man. I don't know if there's someone that's putting them to watch list. To be fair, I don't really like. They're gonna bring themselves back up anyway very soon, regardless. They're gonna bring themselves back up, so it's not. They can be on watch list. They can be on fraud list. Basically, they're bozos. That's just what it is.
Keep Merc there. We've got Alfa Romeo pit crew are going to be there forever. So people are thinking, why is Alfa Romeo pit crew there? This is a long-term, all the way back to Sauber placement. We're not even going to speak on them because we already know they're on the fraud list. What we need to look at now is the actual watch list itself. So these are the guys that were actually under investigation and were looking to be moved to the fraud list. Yeah. Okay, so
I was going to ask, do we have Alpha, the other Alpha team? What they called?
AlphaTauri.
The drip lords. Do we have them anywhere on any of the lists?
Yeah, they're candidates.
I think we need to do express to the fraud list for these, man, boy.
Oh, so they jump the queue.
Yeah, they jump the queue. They don't go on watch list. They're going up.
So they don't even, because usually what we do here, listeners, is we go to watch list and then they go to fraud list. So we have to investigate them first. This is going to be this is the first time that we've ever told someone they're going to skip the watch list and go straight to the fraud list.
The strategy team, the design team, like. Fuck,
awful.
I mean,
they're
horrible.
Awful.
They're horrible, bro. They're trying
France
to tip
tossed a lot of them, bro.
They tipped the car, a Formula One car. They tried to put sellotape from the dollar store on the car.
The worst thing is, I swear Yuki was running the points. He was 7th as well. He was having a good race, man. They sabotaged him.
And his DRS just broke.
His DRS broke off, man.
Unprovoked.
Yeah, but there's been a lot. I mean, there's been a lot of that, though, in it this season. A lot of DRSs haven't been working. I mean, Max's weren't working, Lewis's wasn't working.
No.
It's different.
No, that was a different type of. So, you know, when people's DRS is broken, it's usually because they can't open and close it.
Yeah.
His one was half the DRS. We went missing. His like DRS was still operating.
It broke.
But the plastic bit, the carbon fiber bit, was just gone.
Yeah.
Half the carbon fiber was just gone. So then they decided, duct tape it and then don't use DRS, and then
They took a massive step backwards this year, man. Everyone in that team's taken a massive step backwards, except Yuki. I think Yuki's the only one that stayed the same. But we'll get to those.
Yeah. So later. I don't know if it's the whole team, if it's the design, and actually, the drivers, the team principal, everyone goes on front because this is meant to be the pinnacle of motorsport, and we have them doing what they're doing here. I don't like to say it personally. I don't love it for me. I don't love it for the people that support them. The drip's nice. The drip team would never be on the fraud list or watch list. But the Formula One part of it, nah. I ain't rocking with that.
So is that two votes for AlphaTauri to go express straight to the fraud list?
Yeah.
I agree because they're fucking my boy Yuki over. So, sayonara, as they say in Japan. You gotta go over there. Straight to the front. And we'll evaluate their second half of the season and see if there's any improvements.
I got one more nomination for flawless. Should I save it to the last?
Straight to flawless. No, be careful, Mark.
No, I think I'll save it to the end of the pod. I'll save it to the end of this pod. It's a special one.
Okay. Should we go through the watch list now, guys?
Yeah.
Let's go watch list.
We have Lance Strolovich. Has he made any improvements?
Oh, my favorite.
I feel like he's doing all right. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, it's kind of clear that the Aston has not got the quality pace at all. He is making up places, and him and that the retiree are they're both running for the most overtakes. So the car's definitely got race pace, and they're definitely doing well. So I think he can come off. I suppose if the car had a bit of quality pace, he might be getting more points. So we'll see. I mean, he is getting battered by Seb though as well, which is kind of disturbing. How you getting battered by a man that don't care no more? Which is ooh.
So yeah,
I like Lance though. I like Lance.
No, but this is Canadian bias. This ain't Beaver Tails, brother.
Not.
This ain't Putin.
Lance was good. Lance was good in 20. It was very good. It was good in 20. It was good in 2020. I like Lance.
Look how long ago that was. I said it's good in 2020. It went Aston Martin them times. Why are you going all the way back? Do you know what?
It was like he's like my favorite. He's my favorite terrorist in the sport. Because if there's a DRS train somewhere, Lance Stroll is at the top of it.
You are absolutely sick.
I love it. If there's a DRS train somewhere for like 10 laps,
he causes so many DRS trains. It's insane, and nobody can overtake him as well.
You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's a very good defensive driver. No DRS, and he's still there.
He does the
Remember the one he did in Australia? He was moving brazy. He had like 18 cars behind him. He didn't get done.
He had half the grid behind him.
And people, and then caused another one. Where was it? In Imola, and then Gasly couldn't get past him for.
I swear, I don't want him. I swear, I don't want him in Miami as well.
Bro, do you know what's so funny?
But you know the best part. The thing about Lance Stroll this year is that he's not causing as many crashes as he used to, and he's not doing outrageous things like coming out of nowhere and bashing 3 cars at the same time.
I think he's still doing that. He tried to kill Vettel a couple times.
That's Vettel, man.
Man trying to say Vettel to an early retirement, bro.
It's like,
one point, you know.
It's it's daddy's child, right? You got to get points for daddy. Like
low key. I'm not gonna lie. We talk about people having that dog in them. Yeah, Lance Stroll's got that dog in him.
It is. He's not scared of nobody.
He's so reckless. He's so violent with it. And one thing, if he did ever leave F1, I'll miss his radios. His radios are legendary.
His radios are epic. He has the best.
His radios are legendary.
Him and Brad.
I miss Brad last year.
Pressing the pick confirm button, Brad.
He was epic. It
was like, oh my god, this guy is insane.
Come on, Brad, man. Come on.
And then the new guy. My favorite Lance Stroll radio this year is when he did that crazy overtake in Monaco. And he was on one of the radio. Did you see that? Oh my god, this is. No, I'm not gonna lie, that overtake was crazy, but
nah.
He was like, did you see that? I was like, this guy is a legend. Bro.
Lance is different, man.
Okay, Stroll, you can stay on watch list. Yeah, going anywhere.
Watch list is not going up. Stay.
You're not getting advanced. You're not advancing. Next, Mick Schumacher. Martz, thoughts? He's made improvements since May. You have to think.
He's made improvements, but they're not drastic improvements. Like, I mean, he scored his first points. What was it? 10 races in? Was it ridiculous like that? Or was it 7?
Maybe 8.
It was 8.
When was
okay.
it? No, it's not
Canada.
Canada.
A lot of races.
No, what race did he win? Got his first points.
Might have been Canada. I think was it
Canada's engine block. Remember, he was in the.
I think it might have been Silverstone then. I think it was Canada Silverstone. So yeah, man. I can't say much. For that
You're not
man.
impressed by his driving and when he was driving with Lewis Hamilton in Austria?
No, not really. I expect any driver to be able to do something like that. I mean, yeah, all right, you're holding up Lewis, but Austria ain't exactly the widest track as well.
How many laps
It's
was
not
it?
like-
Hey,
for again?
Austria's an easy track to overtake. Come on, man. Big man take. Come on.
Austria's easy to overtake.
I-
Hello, overtake.
It's no, it's not. I don't think it's that. I don't think it was that easy, man. It was like
had a
those,
he had a
and with
decent-
all the track limits as well. A lot of guys had to be careful, and
How many laps did they hold?
the
Lewis
Mercedes
for,
didn't have the pace either. It was all bouncing around.
You know the whole sprint race.
I'm not giving.
Oh, but I'm talking about race proper.
Oh, like a couple laps.
When there was more on the line, I think there was more on the
Like
line
10?
in the race proper.
Nah,
I swear Lewis finished like 4th in Austria, 3rd.
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
The one thing that's been okay, you see that period of time where Mick's improved, obviously, from back in May. One
Yeah.
thing that's maybe getting lost in the trees is how he's getting packed by his teammate.
and his teammate just DNFing all over the place as well.
And his teammate's quite erratic because he is doing well in like quality and stuff like that, but his race has been ruined a couple times just by him driving erratically. He's been black and orange flagged twice while he's in good positions. So they just told him, come in, you have to change your wing.
I don't even know what color flag that is, bro. Black and
Black
orange.
and,
Never heard
black,
of it.
black and orange flag, for people that don't know what a black and orange flag is when your car is deemed dangerous because of damage. So you have to pit. And that's happened to him
Bro,
twice.
that's because he keeps
And then
on
his engine's
crashing on
blown up
opening lap,
as
innit?
well. Yeah. And that's because he always makes contact with people on opening lap. But he makes up 7 places on the opening lap. So it's checks and balances, isn't it?
Well, it's costing the Haas though.
Who's costing the Haas more, Mick or Magnussen? Come on, man.
Mick.
Oh, definitely, but
Mick
I think
is,
Mick's made a- I
either
think
way,
Mick's
Gunter's
made an improvement,
stressed.
though.
Mick is. I mean,
Yeah, because he
he's
knows the seats on the line. He knows the seats on the line. The way Gunter's been talking brazy.
He's
Man
got
coming on
Gunter's
Sky
stress.
Sports during the race talking about makes it improve during the race, you know. So
He has
Me
got- he
personally,
has
I think Mick's not going to be an F1, but I think he's improved since May. Personally,
I
that's
mean,
my
yeah, but
opinion.
as I said, it's not a drastic improvement. It's
Wait, is improvement compared to other drivers around him? Is it like has he taken a leap over anyone?
the expectations were on the floor. It was to score points. The expectations was to just to score points. That was the floor.
I mean, he's not
I
beating
expect
his
every driver to be able to do that.
He's not beating his teammate, right?
Nope.
So I don't know.
Scary house.
It's a bit tricky. Like
I don't think it warrants him being moved up to fraud list, though. Does it?
no, definitely not moving up. I think he's staying where he is.
I think he stays.
It doesn't warrant him getting off the list at all, and it doesn't warrant him going up. So I think it's fine where he is.
Go on, Joe.
I think it comes
on
off
the fraud watch list.
It comes off the list.
I think he stays. I think it
comes off entirely, man.
Nah, man, he's a bit of a nothing driver.
He's a rookie, man.
I know, but he's not doing anything amazing either.
It's not done anything
wrong.
wrong.
The race pace, yeah. And,
it's lacking.
The
I
race
think
gap between him and Bottas is insane.
But he's beaten Bottas a few times.
Yeah, but it's because Bottas is probably DNF'd. He's
No, like
lacking.
when Bottas has finished races. I mean, no.
He's got like 4 points compared to Bottas's 48. And I know, listen, Bottas is a bum, but like it can't be that bad. You can't be getting 48-3 or whatever it is. That's ridiculous.
Nah,
that is ridiculous.
I want him to come off.
Even as a rookie, that is ridiculous. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous.
Hey, the point gap is scary. The point gap is scary. And do you know, like, how F1's been dropping these, the driver comparisons that's been going out recently? When that Alfa Romeo one drops, people are going to realize he's getting packed.
Well, he's at what's it? Bottas has had like 6 DNFs as well, compared to Zhao's like 2. It's ridiculous.
No, Zhao has a lot of DNFs.
You don't have much as Bottas. Don't have as much as Bottas. I'll tell you that. I think it's like 2 or 3. Can't be more than that. But the guy, every time I see him, he starts off well and then he just drops back.
All right, Matt. What are you watching? What are you watching? Like, what are you watching for? Like,
no, I'm just saying that there's no. Listen, he done well in Bahrain, done really well. Well done. He got the points first race. Then after that, he just was like very just in the mid 16s, 15s. Wasn't showing anything. And every now and again, he pops up in 10th place and he gets a point. But that's about it. I know Alfa Romeo has been shown to have a lot of pace on race days, especially.
Have they had a lot of
do a
pace
bit more.
though?
Huh?
Have they had a lot of pace though, or like it's like deceiving? Because
No, they have a lot. It has a lot of pace. Like you clearly can do a lot more. He could do a lot more with the car he has. Look, I'm not expecting you to do what Bottas is doing because Bottas isn't a scrub. You know what I mean? He's not. Bottas may not be good enough for a top team, but he's definitely good enough for one of the mid back markers or the mid table teams. And as a rookie, you kind of just want to be. You kind of want to be within, I'd say 2-3 tenths of Bottas. If you're not within that, you're not really doing it. And he's way off that. He's way off that.
I'll take Joe off, man.
Nah, I can't. I think you just need to
I'm voting to take Joe off. You've been overruled, Martz.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. Listen, I'm not saying to keep him, not to upgrade him. I'm just saying leave him where he is for now.
Not
just
really.
to see what happens.
I don't see why.
I don't even think he's not. Hasn't even got a seat for next year yet.
He'll get
confirmed.
Scary hours.
He'll get one.
You can't.
No, I personally look. Check this out. Yeah, I don't rate this guy at all. I don't think he should be an F1, but I think he's made small incremental improvements since May. So I think he should come off the list. But I'm keeping an eye on him anyway.
I don't think the improvements have been as much as Mick. And if you're going to keep Mick on, you can't keep him on. You can't take Mick off.
All right,
so
fair play. All right.
Yeah.
You've been overruled, Kunle. You're staying on.
Nah. But it wasn't even in F1 when we put him on the list. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, he was. We put him on F1 in May. What are you talking about, brother?
Why did we put him on in May though? He was
because he was moving mad. What are you talking about?
Come on, man.
Okay, someone we need to put on a watch list now.
Okay. Now, who do you want to put on the watch list? Drivers.
Let's take it from the top.
Only drivers.
I think, Mahad, we need to just swallow our pride a bit here and short the stock and buy on the dip. But Yuki, I'm sorry, but we need to buy on the dip, man. Buy on the dip. That's what I'm doing.
My pride can't allow this.
You know what it is? It's. I like Yuki. I really like Yuki as a driver and as a person as well. He seems like a really nice guy. But he's done it twice now where he just crashed for no reason. And it's just Canada was just the epitome of it. It was just so bad. And he was running in the points and he was going to get good points. Then there was the thing with Gasly where he even though I think that was more Gasly's fault anyway, where he's basically crashing into Gasly. And then was it last race where he just crashed out again on the hards on like 2 lap old tires? Was it on hards or softs or whatever it was? And yeah, man, I feel like he just needs to go and watch this. Just keep an eye on him.
What are you saying that you should put him on the watch list as a wake-up call?
Yeah, as a more of a wake-up call. I don't think like he's shown at the start of the season that he had some improvement, but then it's just not done anything in the last 5 races, I don't think. And just constantly just being in the points and then you're making a mistake where you're dropping to the back of the grid behind the Latifi and then you're struggling to get past the Latifi as well. I know the car's not great, and that probably affects his driving ability. But I feel like Yuki could do a lot better. For the talent I believe he is, I know he can do a lot better. So that is why I am nominating Yuki Tsunoda, as much as it hurts me, for the watch list.
Kunle, do you agree with this nomination? I know we've just previously, just about 10 minutes ago, actually put AlphaTauri straight to the fraud list. Is that not a contributing factor?
Yeah, like a part of me wants to say AlphaTauri, the team, has contributed to the performances of Yuki, but also like he's making mistakes as well. Like, and I get it. It's a second year. It's still a second year. Like it's a sophomore year. It still, it still needs to drive these mistakes away. But Martz made a compelling argument, man. It hurts because I like Yuki, and I've got stocks. I got big stocks in Yuki, and it hurts. But if it's going to like wake him up and say, hey, because if other drivers cannot get away with it, Yuki shouldn't be getting away with it too. If it was other drivers driving the way Yuki drove, I feel like everyone will be calling it for their head too. Like, so yeah, I kind of agree. As much as it hurts, I partially agree.
Buy on the dip.
You agree on the nomination, so I've been voting 2-1, so he is going on the watch list. I am in severe pain right now.
I'm sorry, bro.
And you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm very, very scared because he's still not been announced as the driver for next year, so I'm extremely scared right now.
I think it stays. I think it stays.
Because why announce Gasly but not announce him? I'm worried about that.
No, they said both of them. They said both of them.
No,
It was just Gasly.
It's only Gasly.
It wasn't both. It was just Gasly.
Yuki's not been confirmed yet.
Not been confirmed yet.
Oh, I thought you said both drivers. I thought they said both drivers will be driving next year.
Just Gasly.
Kunle.
Yeah.
Who's your nomination, driver-wise, for the watch list?
I've got about 1 or 2 drivers that not everybody would agree with.
You got to pick one.
If I'm picking one, Pierre Gasly.
Let's get
both AlphaTauri drivers going on the watch list.
Yeah. Pierre Gasly has been a bit of a non-entity this season. Let's keep it a buck. He's making... It's basically giving first half of his career in Red Bull vibes. Like, with the mistakes, I'm not seeing him do much on racetrack. I don't know. It's like, I feel like his head is gone. Maybe post summer break he might have a reset, but I feel like him not getting that seat at Red Bull might be affecting him more than he wants to give it credit for. Because once they renewed him, once they confirmed his year at 80 again, it's a downward spiral. It's not like I can't remember anything memorable he'd done this season. Like from the back end of last season into this year, I can't remember.
Listen, the only thing memorable he done was causing a crash between Russell and Zhao.
Yeah, like it's not giving like he had one with Vettel the other day too. It's not giving enough spaces. It's getting like 10 seconds for track limits. It's not
10 seconds of track limits. That means you exceeded track limits 3 times and then exceeded track limits another 3 times.
Maybe it's not the one, but I remember someone got that. Like it's
I think
that was Yuki.
Was it Yuki?
I don't think it was Yuki.
I think it was Yuki. Yuki got 2 5-second penalties.
But yeah, I think Pierre Gasly too is not like he's not driving like the Pierre Gasly that people call Starboy in cults. Calling a 25-year-old man Starboy was a bit wild, but yeah. And it might sound like it's an agenda, but I feel like everyone that watches F1, that has watched F1 in the past and currently still watches F1, would agree that Pierre Gasly it's not been it this year. That's my submission.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
I don't want to say much more than that.
So the new entries for the drivers in the watch list is Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda. It's scary times for AlphaTauri. Let's just finish this off with the actual watch list for teams. So we had Mercedes pit crew. We've already agreed they're getting upgraded to the fraud list. Because for once in your life, do a pit stop under 3 seconds. You know when they put that DHL fastest pit stop list top 10, yeah?
I
see the
Mercedes always at the bottom.
They're never there, bro.
They're never there.
At the bottom.
They're never there, bro.
They're not even at the bottom, just not there at all. That means there were 10 pit stops, and you weren't there. Not one of them was there. So pit crew straight to the fraud list, fraud list, not even the fraud watch list.
No,
Has strategy.
actually, Hungary, they had a good one, didn't it? You remember because we were all shocked watching it. It was like 2.3.
No, they're lucky we didn't see the time. No, we did. We were watching Quick Stop live. Quick Stop, amazing event. Me and Mark
Shout out
there.
Quick Stop, man.
You couldn't see the timings for the pit stop on the bottom right because it was cut off because of the projector. And when I got home and I looked at the DHL fastest stops, it wasn't even there. So what were we celebrating about? We realized we celebrated a bit too early.
It wasn't a fast pit stop.
We thought it was under the illusion.
So it was like 4 seconds, no?
It ended up being probably about 3 seconds, 4 seconds.
It looked fast, but it wasn't fast.
Red Bull Powertrains is on the fraud watch list.
They
gotta go?
No, they're off the list at all. They're good.
The last time they had an engine failure was
Australia, isn't it?
Yeah, Australia, right?
Yeah, but they're all right. They're not having as much as Ferrari.
Yeah, it seems way more reliable. It was hilarious this time in Australia. We thought the Red Bull Powertrains was the least reliable engine, but it's looking like that Ferrari engine.
I think they might have turned it down a bit. Instead of giving it full power.
If they've turned it down and still putting like 15 seconds on people, then it's scary for the rest of the grid.
Boy. When they turn it up in Zandvoort, it's
Right.
You're gonna be having Max doing donuts on the finish line because like everyone else is one whole minute behind. Scary, bro.
Has strategy teams there? They just have how
they could be, but
how much chance do I see putting them on hards like 5 laps into the race and then they're just having a howler?
Haas should go. Everything strategy from Haas should be in front list, man. Because
it's actually fraudless, so they should be upgraded, guys.
They should be upgraded, man.
Upgrade.
It's just vibes and inshallah, bro. It's just vibes.
I actually don't understand what they're doing. And for me, somebody that's been watching Formula 1 for a very long time, I don't actually understand the method.
I feel like they drive and they hope to DNF so they don't have to like explain anything about what they've done. It's like they're just waiting for the eventual DNF from like the engine blowing up and shit. Like yeah, the engine blew up. It wasn't our fault. Like they're not inspiring.
Martz, is your nomination team-wise?
Alpine. Just Alpine.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say Alpine as well.
I was going to say Alpine too.
Alpine.
I think
we spoke about it on the last pod. You heard last pod.
Last week it just epitomized everything at Alpine. Just so useless, right? I think we put a tweet out about Alpine, about should they be challenging for the Mercedes, Ferraris, and Red Bulls at this moment in time, which they should be. They've had their 5-year plan, which has been delayed like Brexit, and it's just awful. It's just awful, man. They don't know what they're doing there. I mean, they were sliding, getting Otmar to move teams, and everyone thought it was going to be like this magical changing chapter. And then the whole Piastri Alonso situation happened, and they just showed they're useless again. Their cars are unreliable. Their cars keep not really blowing up, but it's like sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. And yeah.
Oh Lord!
In all fairness, yeah, it's just, and they got done over by Alonso again. They've
done themselves over, man.
I mean, no, but listen. One thing you know about Alonso always has inside information, yeah, and that's one thing that man will always have. He's never left the place without having inside information. Like when in McLaren, when he threatened to blow up the whole team and say, "I'm going to tell them what I know." He had inside information at Ferrari when he was there. Every time he comes out, he always has inside information on the team, he will use that to his advantage. And he knew about the Piastri deal.
Mark texted him like, "Yeah, Piastri is going McLaren." It's boys with Mark Webber.
It's boys with Mark Webber.
It's boys with Mark Webber. Max texted him like, "Yo, inside trading deals. Piastri is going McLaren. You're good at Alpine if you want to stay. Well, it's whatever."
Yeah, it's just
Martz. Do you think?
You know what? You know the whole thing about Alpine is well.
Martz, do you think Otmar's a fraud?
No.
I feel.
That's a trick.
Yeah, as a team principal, I don't see what he's done. That's great.
Wow.
He's not done anything as a team principal. That's great.
Racing
You
Point, he
look
was
back
cooking.
to
It was cooking a
Racing
Racing
Point.
Point.
Yeah, because he had Mercedes designs. It's like, of course, you're gonna cook. If I follow my mum's recipe for word for word, of course I'm gonna cook. It's gonna come out good if I follow it word for word. Right, I don't see anything.
So I've got a question. I've got a question.
He hasn't improved the team. He's done terrible strategy. They done terrible strategy last weekend at Hungary as well, putting both drivers on the hard. Stupid idea. You put one driver on the hard, you can see it don't work. You then put your other driver on the hard, thinking it was going to do something else. It just doesn't make sense, guy.
Matt, I've got a question for you, Matt. Alonso not working at Alpine. Who takes the blame for it?
Anyone there, I don't even know, man. That team's just a mess. Like from the start of the season, you just knew the team was going to be a mess. They were talking about Prost leaving. They fired Cyril last minute. If you're going to fire Cyril, just fire him. Just fire him at the end of the season. They fired Cyril last minute for no unknown reason. Who was actually building something with the team, and yeah, it's just. That team just, I don't know for them, man. They are just in no man's land. They should be doing a lot better than what they are. And someone needs to be investigating them. They're just embezzling French taxpayers' money. That's what they're doing, bro.
Whoa, the thoughts of Martz is Martz only. French government, Macron, shout outs.
Bro, I don't want the French people in our mentions tweeting French.
Listen. Once they hear what I said, they'll be rioting on the Champs-Elysees, bro. They man, you know them man love a riot, bro.
What I was gonna say, so that's the teams that we're gonna add on to the fraud watch list.
Aston Martin gotta go there.
Why?
For producing a shitbox of a car.
No, but then that's the same with like McLaren. We'll be adding bare teams, man. Come on, man.
Nah, Aston Martin, nah.
I think you can. Nah, in all fairness, I feel like you can get it wrong. It's new regulations. Not every team's going to get it right.
Yeah, not every team's going to get it right.
They've had it wrong for 2 years in a row. They didn't get it right last year.
Yeah, but then that wasn't really a new car, was it? It was just more other teams were like developing in it. But might be cooking something, B.
Okay, all right.
We asked people their thoughts on possible people that should be on the fraud list today.
Okay.
And a name that came up quite a lot was Anik.
Okay. Now this was my surprise.
Mm.
We need to put him straight on the fraud list. Yeah.
What? He's not even going on the watch list.
Nah, he's not watching.
Straight to the fraud list. That guy's made. We love Anik, yeah. And
I don't know.
Some of the claims he's making is egregious, bruv. Absolutely egregious. The things he said last year and got away with, yeah, about Lewis and 100 wins
behind closed doors,
he got away with that. But this year he just come out brazy with it, just saying any and everything, running his mouth like he's packed. Like you know that video Anthony Mackie where you play a 2-pack and he's in a club and he's just like, yeah, I'm 2-pack. That's been Anik all year. And look, his boy's getting packed in. The guy's running off to wherever he is right now and hiding.
The brother's moving like Leonardo DiCaprio and Catch Me If You Can. Brother, this guy is just fleeing the country at every moment that Ferrari failed.
If you send me the location, I'm gonna be right there. That's Anik in the group chat, basically. Every weekend location when Charles has been in it. But yeah, Anik is going straight to the fraud list, man. He's a liar. He's an actor.
Absolutely. Oh gosh.
A lot. Shout outs to every listener that contributed. A lot of the people that you've nominated, we've already spoke about. We've already actually put on the list. So shout outs to everybody. Somebody wanted to put Piastri on there. Don't know about that one. Putting him on
I know who that was as well. I know who put Piastri on there.
You're moving mad. Chill out.
He's a number one hater. He's another number one hater.
You can't have agenda before he's even jumped in the whip. That's crazy, man.
Has it even done practice?
Nope. He's done one FP session yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's crazy. Alpine not a joke, man. But yeah, we shall be updating that fraud watch list and the fraud list, and we'll be sending that out with our tweets with the pod so everybody can see. But yeah, listeners' questions.
I like this. I saw some of the questions. I like them.
We've got some good questions.
I like them.
So we got first question is from Athena, the lovely Athena. Shout out to Athena. One of the most amazing people on Twitter. Good friend of mine. Shout outs. This community has a broad spectrum of characters, tons of stands. Some talk shit, others use humor. Too many antagonize or display the inability to critically engage with the sport itself. How would you describe the different characters on F1 Twitter? What do you love and hate about this community? So I'll open the floor. Go on.
I want to start on this. I saw this question earlier and I was thinking about it. And I said, you know what? I do like how welcoming the F1 community is, like, and how big it is. When it's a nice place, it's a really nice place. And for the most part, from what you can say, like, I know a lot of time people mention DTS fans, but I feel like in a way they've made the sport better in terms of some of the causes that people talk about and the things in terms of activism and the social aspects of the sport, in which drivers are supporting now. A lot of the drivers are fighting for and talking about. That wouldn't be there without those types of DTS fans. I feel like it's brought a new type of fan to the sport who cares about those matters, and that's one thing I would say that the fans have done. But the stands. Some of you are extremists. Like, you're actually radical extremists. I can't stand you lot. I can't be like you guys, basically. I mean, some of you ride so hard for Hamilton, and I respect that. Some of you ride so hard for Max Verstappen, I respect it. But then some of you take it way too far. At the end of the day, you don't know these people as well. These people, you're using their face, their names, and you're as a fan, you're representing these people. And the things that some of you do in their name, in terms of Hamilton's name, in terms of Max's name, in terms of Charles's name, it's just wrong. Like, today, we're having to deal with more racism with people who are going on podcasts and they're trying to make content, black creators trying to make content, and you have certain fan bases doing absolutely crazy stuff. I know a lot of finger pointing is done at Max fans and how bad they are, but then there's also things about, I mean, listen, I know they over exaggerate it, but I wouldn't be surprised it's happening with the death threats of Tomasi from the team LH fans, some team LH fans, I should say. That is where it's just too far, man. And you can't be using the names of the drivers you support and their images, as a lot of you do, to be saying the things you do. If you're going to say these things, be a man or be a woman and come out brazy, say it with your chest. Don't be hiding behind the Lewis Hamilton Avi. Do not be hiding behind Charles Leclerc Avi. Do not be hiding behind a Nicholas Latifi Avi. Like, you're just destroying the reputation, and it just creates a more hostile environment. And that's a thing that, as a community, we need to deal with. And it's not just in F1; it is in football as well. A lot of it happens in football Twitter, and a lot of football Twitter has made its way to F1 Twitter, and you're getting that same toxic environment that happens on football Twitter sometimes in the F1 community. But there are a lot of beautiful people out there, like Athena, like Nasha, and there's so much other people that are out there, and they're always speaking their truth. And I actually love reading some of Athena's threads, so I'm actually happy, and I know I'm really happy that she's asked this question, because epitomizes what a fan should be, and someone who represents someone like Lewis Hamilton. I mean, like, obviously, there's me. I say some things sometimes a bit wild, but you shouldn't be making death threats. You shouldn't be using racist language, especially not in the names of the drivers you represent. And these people do not know you as well. So if they do not know you and you're going to represent them, be respectful about it. Do not be doing that shit. It's sickening, man. That every time we always have to deal with racism. Every time as black content creators, we just want to come out here and make our content for people to enjoy, for our people, for all other types of people to enjoy. There's not many of us. We want to enjoy the space as much as you do. So stop doing it. Stop it. Because I will just come and start smacking you on your face. And that is just my thoughts and not the thoughts of Pitstop Fracas. That's just smacking you in the face, by the way.
Thank you for that, Martz. Very succinct and thoughtful points there. Kunle, your thoughts on Athena's question? I don't know if you can remember it, but how would you describe the different characters on F1 Twitter, and what do you love and hate about this community?
The different characters. I think it's a whole, like, we have range of characters, right? We have people that have been watching F1 before I was born. You know, we have people that got into the sport in the 2000s. We have people that got in 1999, and we have people that just got into sport recently. And you know, when you have different people from different eras now watching the same thing at the same time, you tend to get like different perspectives and different, you know, and different things. Like me and you, Mahad, we would look at the way people react to certain things now and would be like, you would not have survived watching Schumacher in his prime. Like the way people would react to certain things, like the level of shithousery in F1 that used to be in F1 before now, you know, before it became like sort of PG and, you know, people are trying to like, you know, be role models. Like when F1 drivers didn't care about being role models, some of us watched F1 then. And like, you know, it was a different level of like, I'm going to do what I want to do to win. But then like there are fans that are new to the sport that would see things and be like, oh, wow, why is it doing that? It's not gentlemanly. You shouldn't do that. And I, for one, I'm glad that we have a new range. We have a new wave of fans. I'm glad that we can have F1 event. We can have like a race going on, and all the timeline is talking about is F1. You know, there was a time it used to be 5-6 people on the timeline talking about F1, and now it's glad to see like, you know, the sport is reaching out to more people. We're having a range of different perspectives, different ranges. But now breaking that down, I personally have a problem with stand culture in general. You know, where you cannot be objective and have a, like, you know, see things from a different perspective. I personally have a problem with that, and when that has crept into F1, it's been annoying. So in a way, I don't really fuck with F1 Twitter like that. You know, there's people like that I follow on my timeline. Like if I wasn't doing this for Pitstop, I'll probably just be talking to like 5-6 people about F1, and that's it. But then you come on Twitter and you see like people like saying shit, like, you know, talking about other people, branding a whole committee of people as cults, or the whole bunch of the whole racism thing. Like, you know, like some of our guys, like they had to experience that again today in 2022. Like people being racist to black content creators because they're not fans of their favorite driver, or because they're fans of a particular driver. Like, make it make sense. How's it affecting your life that someone is a fan of Lewis Hamilton, I'm not a fan of Max Verstappen, or blah blah, or stuff like that? And you know, it's ridiculous. But I think the second part of the question is, what do I not like? Or what was the second part of that question again? Sorry, Mahad.
You caught me off guard on that one.
Sorry.
It was basically what you love and hate about.
What do you love and hate about?
F1,
You've kind of
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What do I love?
And
What
listen,
do I love? What do I love?
Stop attacking the women as well, man. Stop.
It's
Yeah,
a very
man.
misogynistic place and it's disgusting.
Like
It's horrible.
Like you don't like let women be. I know it's three guys talking, but like
Let women enjoy the sport.
let women enjoy the sport. They just want to watch fast drivers. They just want to watch. If the women are tuning in just because the people driving the cars are handsome and they find them attractive, let them do
That's
that.
fine.
It's not like it's fine. Everyone's
on.
coming.
There's a lot of incel culture around just, not only football Twitter, but F1 Twitter. There's a lot of misogynistic, angry men that are watching the 1978 Monaco Grand Prix in their room, just venting and getting mad on Twitter. Let women watch the sport.
And it's
It
so
should be a
annoying.
welcome sport.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Like when you're gonna be misogynistic and racist, you're not doing it with chest. You're hiding behind a keyboard. You're hiding behind an anonymous account or behind a locked profile and blah blah blah. And you're talking shit. No, if you're gonna talk shit, say it with your chest. Let people know you for the shitbag that you are. And everyone's happy. Like I know you're a shitbag. I'm not going to engage with you. I'm gonna have you blocked or muted. I don't even see you. And I'm going to block the people that follow me, that follow you, because I don't want to see your shit on my timeline. But yeah, I feel like the best part and the worst part of like the fandom is, I think the stunning, there's some, like you see, like you mentioned, Athena, like some of Athena's threads are like beautiful to read, and she's highlighting things that, on a normal day you would not even think about it that way. It's the host of people on F1 Twitter that they don't generally make content like this, but they make Twitter content for people to like watch, or for people to like read, and like you get to understand. Like you see FIA Amelia, I forgot in the full handle, like she's talking about Formula, the women's racing thing, where Chadwick is. What's the name of that thing? I've forgotten.
W series.
W series. Like they had, like, I would really not really have cared about W series if not for F1 fans that talked about it on my timeline. And now, like, I'm still not watching it full time, but I'm checking out for the results. I'm trying to see where the level of competition is. There's like social like awareness things that they're creating, and and a lot of fans are coming together and engaging, and people are making beautiful friendships following the sport. And that's what I want to see. You don't have to be going into someone's mentions. If you call me a nigga to my face, I'll smack you. And that's me personally. That's not pit stuff. But you can say it on Twitter, and that's fine. I'll just look at it and I'll laugh. But you don't, like, again, I'll repeat myself. Let black people be. Let them support whoever they want to support. If they're supporting Lewis because it's black, let them support Lewis because it's black. If they don't like Lewis, fine. Not everyone that's black has to like Lewis. Not everyone that's black has to like the same thing you like. This is going for like the crazy Lewis Hamilton stands that always go after people unprovoked. Let other fans enjoy the sport. Just enjoy it, as long as they're not trying to like manipulate you or gaslight you. Just enjoy the sport and let other fans enjoy it. I mean, sorry, I was going off there, but yeah.
Like I said earlier, if you're racist, if you're misogynist,
Suck him up.
suck him up.
Suck him up.
We're black F1 content creators. We ain't getting anywhere. We ain't fucking leaving. So just gonna have to hold that, mate.
Yeah.
And
Well, I'm leaving when Lewis Hamilton leaves, but so they'll be happy about that.
Martz is going to be a pit stop consultant from that point. He's like, I'll come on once a year.
Until Lewis has his own team, and then I'm coming back.
You go, man. You're going to become a McLaren fan. Bye, boy.
Oh, yeah, true. You go. I can never be a McLaren fan. Not after 2007.
Well, yeah. Thank you, Athena, for the question. If you want to
shout out Athena,
amazing account, amazing content. At Tarmac Talk. So at Tarmac Talk, Athena. Shouts to you. Next, friend and family of the pod. Next question from Ray X Killy at RayX Killy. Thoughts on the new regs, and if you think they'll be better during the second half of the season.
I think they've been good so far. I'm waiting to see them in Spa because the new regs in Spa is meant to be something of a beautiful sight. Everyone's predicting. We'll see how they do in Monza as well. Hopefully, it's just not going to be a DRS train in Monza, but it likely will be. And we ain't got no more street tracks apart from Singapore, so I think we'll see some good racing for the most part. And a lot of the tracks are wide tracks as well, so it's good for overtaking. A lot of tracks you can overtake at. So I think the new regs have done brilliant so far this season, except for at the street tracks where they've been absolutely crap and a porpoising. But once we've gotten past that, we'll see some great racing. We saw was it Austria? Not Austria. Was it Austria? With a 5-car?
Yeah, Austria, man.
Going around the corner.
Yeah.
That was beautiful, man. And as I said, it's not something we've seen in outside of first lap in F1 for a very, very long time. So, when Mercedes gets these races complete, a lot of you will stop complaining and you will be happy when Lewis is winning races. So we just wait. We give it a few minutes.
Mercedes are winning 4 races, by the way, after the summer break. Tell you that now. 4 races.
I feel like Mercedes this year, they focus a lot on their weaknesses that they have from previous years, and they've lost all their strengths from the past they've had. So I feel like they kind of, where they've made gains, they've made losses in the areas of strength they previously had.
They didn't make losses, or other teams got better?
No, I feel like they're better in corners and slow speed corners and stuff this year.
Yeah, but then thinking about
their
it,
downforce are better. Their downforce is better. I feel like they're doing better at higher altitude tracks.
Okay.
But their straight line speed is just crap. So
that's
what
they
didn't
get worse. But it's like Red Bull got faster on straight, and Ferrari got faster on the straight.
The Mercedes did get worse because you remember all the porpoising down the straight. They've had to have the car right at a higher ride than they've had to have the floor higher than the other cars. So while you can say the other teams have improved, but I think Mercedes also have taken a step back in terms of
the porpoising has stopped for like 4 races now. We've not really had porpoising.
Yeah, but that's is it. But I think you'll see it pop its head again up at Singapore at a street track, where the street track's a bit more bumpy.
Okay.
But hopefully as I said, we'll see. I think Mercedes will win about 3 or 4 races.
Do we have Suzuka this year?
Yeah, we do.
Heritage back, baby.
That's my favorite track, man. My favorite track. The best track in F1 history, bro.
It's top 3, man.
I cannot wait, man.
I think that's my birthday weekend as well, Suzuka.
Man, you're going to be straight from the rave, straight to the race.
Straight to the race, then to that.
Rave to the race.
So rave, then race, because the race. Yeah, minute.
Rave, race, then Arsenal on the Monday, I think it is.
Okay, we've got a question from Raina. Shout out to Raina. I hope she's got the Black AF1 pod, so I've just retweeted it. So make sure you check that out. Black content creators, F1 content creators, we're always supporting. Her question is simple: when will Anik gain common sense?
She's on Anik's neck all the time, and you know what, Raina, keep it up. Make sure you stay on his neck. Anik will never gain common sense, man. He likes triggering you lot, and the fact of the matter is, a lot of you buy it, which is funny for us because we're just sitting there and we're like, why do you not just keep on biting? Why do you keep on biting?
They think it's bad. They should see the group chat.
Anik is a troll, and that's what he is, and you just got to treat him as such. Yeah. There's a video of Lewis describing what happened in Canada with him and Seb, and he's like, "Oh, I'm in Seb's head," and he's like, "Hee." That's exactly what Anik does every time you lot react to it.
He posted that in the group chat, like, "This is me with him."
No, that was I said. That's what I said. I said, "This is Anik," and
that was you.
That was me, and that is exactly how he is.
Stop biting.
Nah, stop biting. Anik is never gonna have sense, but if he continues, we need you, man, to be on his neck 247. Make him
listen. When Lewis wins a race, he'll be back and he'll be celebrating like the rest of you lot. And we're going to kick him out of the club. Don't worry.
Yeah. Anik is Anik, man.
Man said no entry to the club, no entry.
No,
He's trying to like buy.
there's a height requirement.
God damn. Okay.
Oh Lord.
I love you, Yannick. Oh.
Next question. We love you, Yannick. Next question
God.
at CFC A19B. He's actually got two questions. The first one is, when are we going to have a conversation about Honda? They left only to return less than 6 months later, creating a whole new engine freeze. Also, do you see them powering AlphaTauri in 2026?
I see them owning AlphaTauri in 2026. I mean,
You're gonna buy him, innit?
the CEO of Honda's been very ambiguous in his statements that he's been releasing. I mean, he said they weren't at the Austria meeting, but they've been keeping an eye on. Well, they've been keeping an eye on it to see what the regs are for. And I feel like because of the reg change, depending on what the reg change is, I feel like it's suiting the way a lot of car manufacturers are going in terms of the sustainability aspects of things. And so if it is really zero carbon, I can see Honda at least making a move in 2026, 2027 for a works team. And we know how Honda likes to dip in and dip out all the time. So it's nothing new there, is there?
They'll buy AlphaTauri. I think they'll definitely buy AlphaTauri. Because
Kobayashi and Yuki line up. That's what we're looking at.
Kobayashi is done at it, bro. Man said old man Kobayashi, you know.
Yeah.
And you tried to get out Alonso.
He's only 35. Alonso's like 50, man. He's lied on his passport.
All right. Same person. Second question: what happens to Red Bull powertrains now that Porsche are buying shares into Red Bull? The Red Bull powertrains is a fugazi failed project, man.
It's not a project. I mean, Honda's back.
That was just an embezzlement.
Honda's back, and in 2026, Porsche's back 50%, and Porsche are going to make the engines. This Red Bull powertrains are not there.
Red Bull powertrains is just a smart way for Christian Horner to like keep under in business. F1, like.
It was a smart way of them to get an engine freeze. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was an engine freeze. That's all.
They play politics, man.
Yeah, I think I was watching a video from the race, and they were saying that basically, with the Porsche deal, just allows Red Bull not to have to pay as much for things. I think linking back to the Honda question as well. I think the only reason why Honda might not should come back is because they gave all their best employees to Red Bull, like idiots. So all their best employees basically work for Red Bull Powertrains now, which will be part of the new Porsche Red Bull team. So apart from that, they got the best people from Honda. They're going to get the best people from Porsche, who are already basically making the engine already from now. And they just got to make sure Adrian Newey stays healthy so he can do the aerodynamics for 2026. And hopefully Max can't drive anymore and he will not be going for his 7th or 8th world title, because that will be very embarrassing.
Man said, hopefully Adrian Newey stays healthy like he's Joel Embiid. What the hell is going on? He needs to stay injured.
Listen, man. I actually know. Let me keep my mouth shut, because if I say something else, we got
don't say that. Matt is okay. Matt is okay. Killing me, man. No more.
Last question. At E.G. Crossan. Shout out to E.G. Crossan. Long time listener. Sainz, Perez both have been beaten 10-3 in quali so far this year. Bottas was beaten 69-31 by Hamilton in his time at Merck. Hamilton is the GOAT. He's much tougher opposition than Leclerc and Verstappen. Why do neither Sainz or Perez get the criticism they deserve for being slower than Bottas?
I think they get the criticism here. Sorry, go on, Kunle.
No, I'm saying like it's a spicy question. I like it.
Oh,
it's spicy.
I mean, they get
Kunle, you go first. Go on.
No, let Matt go. I'll take the lead. I'll take the last on this. Let Matt go.
All right. Cool. I think they get a criticism here, both Sainz and Perez. But yeah, I just feel like the only reason why people criticize Bottas was because Hamilton's black, and that's it. If Hamilton was white and he was winning all these races and he was beating Bottas, no one would care. Like, no one cared about Barrichello. No one cared about Irvine. Okay, No one cared about those man not beating Michael. It's because Hamilton's black, and they wanted someone to dunk on Hamilton like Rosberg kind of did in 2016, and that's it.
Did Rosberg dunk on Hamilton though?
I mean, he kind of did. I mean, by the second half of the season, the championship was done. Hamilton was just chasing.
Rosberg went toe to toe with him, man. You know when you're in a scrap and then he's like on the floor and then he gets sanded, he throws it in the ice. That's what he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like we all know Mercedes kind of fiddle with Hamilton's engines. Yeah, I'll say that, and that's a fault of Martin and Martin alone.
I could have stopped.
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah. So Mercedes definitely not inviting us anywhere. So apart from that, yeah.
Okay. Let's speak on Sainz. I think here we always talk about it, right? Like maybe other people don't, but we like put the lights on Sainz. But what I think primarily what it was is why Bottas got all that slack was because it felt like they wanted someone to compete with Lewis in the same machinery. Like they wanted to get like 2014 or 2016 vibe. Because 2015, Rosberg wasn't even close. Like he was definitely like second best all year round. Maybe he got a couple race wins here and there, but when Lewis was on it. So they wanted someone to compete with Lewis, and they just couldn't get that. And no fault of Bottas, he just wasn't good enough to compete with Lewis. In the case of, and it didn't help that there was George Russell waiting. Like looking at Red Bull, there isn't really anyone that you'd say, okay, yeah, this guy is good enough to take over from Perez, right? Same thing with Ferrari. Like Sainz is there, and if you look at Ferrari's like lineup waiting, he's comfy ahead of them. None of them are on his level per se, even though he's not the best driver. But they're not on his level. The same thing with Perez at Red Bull. But I also feel like both of them get away with it more also because they're liked in the F1 world. Right? Like Perez is, whether or not you like or hate Red Bull, Perez is like, you know, when people say, oh, look at him, he's a good kid from a good home, you know, he's nice, he's friendly, we know his mom, his dad gives us sweet. Like, you know, Perez's dad is a whole Formula One figure on his own. And then you have Perez too. Like Perez don't really bother nobody. He's not dirty on the track. He's just trying to drive his race, even though he's not going fast. He's looking after his tires. He's been a good partner to like Max to help him win the championship. So no one's really criticizing them because
Max won a championship?
Yeah, something like that last year, apparently. Oh. You know, no one's really criticizing them because like the job that they feel like they brought them in for, they're doing it. Maybe Sainz might act like he's gonna challenge Charles, but it's evident like it's not. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's close that it's gonna be a challenge, but it's not that obvious because Charles has a challenger outside Ferrari in the Red Bull of Max Verstappen and vice versa. But while Lewis was there, he didn't really feel like he had a challenger outside of Mercedes, and the closest challenger I should have gotten was Bottas in the same machinery, and Bottas wasn't able to live up to the expectation. And I feel like that's why them two get away with it, but Bottas doesn't.
I think the case with Sainz and Leclerc, like the person's presented a question about quali, yeah. Without a doubt, Leclerc's a generational talent when it comes to quali. So for you to expect Sainz to be faster than Leclerc there is a bit. And Perez is not better than Max Verstappen. So
Perez has never been a qualifier. He's never been a good
Perez has never been a qualifier. Max is not really a qualifier like that. But
yeah, Max is in his bag though.
He gets it here and there, but overall in the season, he's not doing better than Leclerc. So the problem with Bottas, it was never quali. You presented the question, quoting qualifying stats, but we've never criticized Bottas for quali.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about racing and stuff like that, Sainz has beat his teammate last year.
True.
Perez has done a good job. Perez is like 5 points off second in the championship. If he finishes second in the championship at the end of the year, nobody's going to have any valid criticism for Perez.
That's a decent one too.
So this question's a bit skewed to try to defend Bottas, and Bottas is very likely a bum. And we kind of saw that last year. So.
No, Bottas is not a bum. It's not.
There we go, Kunle, man.
It's not just a driver for a top team. That's what it is. It's not a driver for a top team. It's a good driver. I think
Perez and. Do you think? Okay, let's say for example, Bottas was in Perez's or Sainz's shoes. Would he be doing a better job right now?
No.
I don't think.
Listen. Bottas and Perez, we saw it last year. Okay, when push came to shove, Perez wasn't having a great season last year. But when push came to shove,
Bottas still beat him though.
Okay,
we're not talking about.
Max.
When
push came to shove,
we're not going to talk about
when push came to shove.
No. We're not doing that.
No, we are. We're going to highlight this. We're going to highlight this because he knew his role. He knew his role. When push came to shove, when push came to shove, and a person on age-old tires had to defend to protect to get a race win, who did their job? Who was called a legend? It weren't Bottas. It weren't Bottas.
I would like to remind people of Bottas's performances in Baku and Mexico. We don't even. And the thing is, the difference between him and Perez at that time as well is Perez was well established. No, Bottas was well established in his team. He was there for years. Perez just jumped in that seat. Last minute.
Perez has been in Formula One for like 10.
Yeah, but you jumped into the Red Bull seat that notoriously hard car to drive.
It don't matter, man. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that argument.
Shout out to you, Crosson. You've caused the rift amongst us.
I'm not buying that. What I'll say is, head-to-head, Bottas and Perez last season. Bottas finished ahead of Perez. That's what FIA cares about. Like, we can talk about.
Didn't Perez get more race wins than him?
No, same amount, 1-1.
Same amount, 1-1.
Okay, lucky.
Big man Bottas that's been in the team for how long? Only got one race win.
Yeah.
Can I ask you where he was in Abu Dhabi?
He finished like 7 or retired the car. I'm not even sure.
And he still jumped in the pool.
He was one of the cars that Messi said that couldn't overtake. Yeah. He wasn't even the ones that were in the fall between him and Max. He was one of the cars that couldn't overtake.
I want people to go home. If you're listening to this up on a train or something like that, just open YouTube, yeah? I want you to watch Yuki Tsunoda overtake on Bottas on that race.
If Bottas was where he was supposed to be, Lewis wins the championship. End of story.
Damn. Kunle, your boy is moving mad.
It's not my boy. I'm just saying. Let's be factual and let's like.
But that is facts, though. What I said.
No. But
if he was where he was,
we're not talking about. No, we're not talking about their roles as supporting drivers for like the lead driver.
But that was his role. When it came down to it, that was his role.
Pardon?
Perez is a better sport driver than Bottas.
We're not talking about that right now. If it was that, yeah, Perez gets the crown.
Okay, the question is why do we criticize Bottas for being slower than Hamilton when Perez and Sainz are both slower than their counterparts?
They both exactly.
Because their counterparts are good drivers.
And Hamilton is the greatest of all time.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we're just saying Perez has done a better job than Bottas, and we're seeing it right now. Bottas in the Alfa Romeo, which is equivalent to what the Racing Point has been before, like 2020.
No,
they had
it's
that
not.
Fugazi
No,
before they had
no.
that before they had a pink Mercedes. Perez was doing better performances in the Racing Point and Force India than
Like
Bottas
better-
is now doing
better-
in the
So better
it-
performances like crashing into his teammate, always beefing his teammate on track.
Sounds like an Ocon problem to me.
Is that what we're talking about?
sounds like, listen, we know what Ocon's on
Let's
anyway.
wrap this up, guys.
Listen,
Let's wrap
so
No,
one person lost their seat, the other didn't. So that says everything you need to know about that situation.
Well, yeah, one person would have been out of F1, but yeah, no comment. Like, you know,
That shot to Perez is a bit mad still.
no
Somebody that
comment.
used to be a Perez fan, that's crazy.
No comments.
That's
no
crazy.
comment.
But guess what? Perez is going to finish second in the championship this year. So
I mean, it better pray that Mercedes. It better pray
Perez
that
stops
Mercedes.
up, baby.
It better pray that Mercedes don't get their shit right, because I'm saying it. If all them 6 cars are moving correctly, Sainz and Perez are 8, 5, and 6 respectfully.
Okay. You heard it here
Sainz
first. You heard it
Sainz
here
and
first.
Perez.
I don't think that's true. I think Leclerc is eating 5. But,
Okay.
yeah.
4, 5, 6 is between Leclerc and Perez.
To be honest, I think George Russell's eating 5. We all know how he does a top 5 finish, don't we?
What I'm saying is Sainz and Perez 5 and 6 respectfully. That's all. That's all.
All right, in equal machinery, who's finishing top 6? In equal machinery.
Equal machinery.
Yeah.
Lewis.
If we all had equal machinery,
Lewis.
Lewis,
Max. Maybe Leclerc or Russell. 3rd and 4th. One of both. Russell ahead of Leclerc, right?
Yeah.
Russell, Leclerc, Sainz and Perez interchangeably.
Sainz ain't better than Perez, man.
I don't know. I'm just saying interchangeable, because I know Sainz is gonna
Sainz
out-qualify.
is finishing above Russell.
Wait, what?
Sainz is out-qualified.
And no one's seen it yet. No one's seen it yet.
Russell out-qualified
Russell is a
Sainz
hothead.
just now. Literally the other day.
Russell is a hothead. I'm
Russell
telling you this. He'll out-qualify people, but he's a hothead when it comes to races. You see what Max was doing in all 2021? I'm telling you, Russell, his first championship, he's doing the exact same thing. He's that same hothead. And I've seen it. You see it in glimpses. So when he's actually fighting for a championship, you will see it more prevalent.
Okay. You heard it.
Let that time come.
But yeah, thank you for all your listeners' questions. Like I said at the beginning of the pod, follow us on Pitstop Fracas on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram, Pitstop Fracas. If you're watching this on YouTube and you got this far, please like and subscribe. Come on, man. You watched an hour and 40-something minutes. You better
Unless
just
you're racist, then just go away. You can
if you're racist, go away, obviously. That's a given. And yeah, if you need any F1 merch, follow the link in the description of the YouTube video, in the description of iTunes, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And I think we're taking a break next week, and we'll be back the week after with more Formula 1 content. Peace.
Chris, your boy stayed at 1. Boom.